Secretary Kendall, good to have you here. Thank you for your testimony. As we've discussed many times together, and you're well aware, Michigan's national defense footprint, including Selfridge Air National Guard Base and its A-10 and KC-135 missions that they have, are critical for our national defense. It was an honor to host Deputy Secretary Hicks last year at Selfridge, so she could see the capabilities of that airfield firsthand, and for former Acting Secretary Roth to affirm the Air Force's commitment to Selfridge, writing in a letter to me as well as to Senator Stabenow, and I'll quote, "As we adapt our Air Force to meet current and future national security challenges, Selfridge will continue to play an essential role," end of quote. So, Mr. Secretary, my question for you is, do I have your commitment that Selfridge will continue to play an important role in the Air Force's long-term plans as those are developed?
Senator, I have no reason to believe otherwise.
Well, I appreciate that. General Brown, when speaking with Air Force Magazine on April 13th of this year, General Nahom stated that the Air Force needs to buy 72 new fighters a year in order to recapitalize a fighter force that can fight and win against a near-peer threat such as China. Yet the fiscal 23 Air Force budget only calls for 33 F-35s and 24 F-15EXs to be purchased this year. It also calls for overall cuts in terms of the F-15EX, about a 50% reduction from 144 aircraft to only 80. By your own admission and statements that you've made, the F-15EX has several unique capabilities, and for certain missions in particular, such as homeland defense, it is a superior platform to fifth-generation aircraft. So my question for you, sir, is why is the Air Force planning on reducing the procurement of a proven, capable platform that can help us recapitalize the National Guard's fighter fleet, and more importantly, free up fifth-generation aircraft for more relevant missions?
Well, Senator, we're as an Air Force, we're committed to 72 a year, because that actually helps us to bring down our average age, and there's some analysis that's been done to work through that. One of the things as we went into this budget was to balance the capability, not just from the fighter itself, but it's also the weapons, it's the support, it's the infrastructure that goes with it, which has put us in a position this year not to actually go after 72. And so it's a balance of all the capabilities that need to come together to support the fighter force. We have a full capability, not just a partial capability, as we go forward. And so this will be a continuing dialogue and continuing analysis that we will do as an Air Force to make sure we have full capability for each one of the platforms we do procure.
Well, given that, if we ask a question, would you purchase more F-15EXs if you were appropriated funds to do so by Congress?
We definitely consider that, but I'd also, as we do that, I'd also look at the weapons that go with the platform, so we actually have the not only the capability but the capacity to go with the those particular fighters. Very
good. Secretary Kendall, I've sent a letter to Secretary Austin regarding my concerns with the department's missing some critical PFAS reporting deadlines, including both a deadline that requires the department to explain a delay in reaching agreement with the state on proposed CERCLA cooperative agreement cleanup plan, as well as a March 1st, 2022 deadline for reporting to Congress on status of PFAS remediation at 50 priority military installations. 2 of those installations are located in Michigan. PFAS remediation remains a high priority for all Michiganders, including myself. And my question for you, Mr. Secretary, is what are your PFAS-related priorities? And just given the sheer scale of the contamination challenge that we face right now, how will you use your limited budgetary resources in the most effective way to deal with this problem?
PFAS is a well-recognized and national problem, of course. And the Air Force, because of its use of it in firefighting and training over the years, has obviously been a big source of that getting into the environment. We're working through the CERCLA process, and I think we're at doing assessments generally now. We're well into that and finishing that. What we're all waiting for, of course, is for an EPA standard that will help us understand what the remediation requirements are going to be. And then we'll be able to move forward on remediation as well.
Thank you, and I appreciate your focus on this the very important issue. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.